That's
How
me.
are you doing this morning?
Good morning, Nana Cat. Good morning, Sharon. Good morning, Sandra. Good morning, Don Aaron. We have a
Good
celebrity.
morning, all you lovely, lovely ladies. Good morning,
A
Nana
celebrity.
Cat, Sharon, Sonja, Dawn. Thank y'all so much for being with us today.
We have a celebrity in the house. Hi,
Good
Carly
morning, Mimi.
Gordon and Mimi and Carrie. Don
And
Aaron's in the
Carrie,
house.
Carla, hello.
Hi, Sugar. Oh my God, Mrs. Hot Tea's here. How are you doing, sweetie?
Oh, Tracy, how are you doing, sweetheart? And Sugar?
Hi,
And Rachel?
Rachel.
Hope everyone's having a great start to their Thursday.
Yes. Good morning, everybody. So, you know, I Lulu. Now I can't think of her channel name. Crochet with Lulu. Is that what it
Mm-hmm.
is?
I think so. Good morning, Mara. I wanted to tell you real quick something. You were talking about, making your craft shows and stuff. What I want to tell you is, uh, a friend of mine fell into the same situation as you did, where she was able to buy a Cricut, a used one, from a friend, and she started slowly at first, but what she does now is she takes her Cricut with her to her craft fairs, and she will make stickers, especially for little kids, right there on the spot. So I don't know if that's something that you've done in the past or not, but and before long, she kind of has a crowd of little kids and everybody standing in line, and I mean, it's just wonderful. So it might be something to keep in mind, especially if you make quite a few of them during the summer. Just want to throw that out there to you.
Good morning, Brandon. A different Lulu, Christy. It's Crochet with Lulu, I think.
Or maybe crafting with Lulu.
I can't remember. I have had her up here on Sundays and
Yeah.
you'll be lurking. Okay, Christy. Hi, Shirley.
Hello, Shirley and Christy and Brandon. Thank
Any,
y'all so much for being here with us.
anyway, she bought me, bless her
Hello,
heart,
Mama Marianne. How are you?
a crochet logbook she thought I needed.
Oh, those are nice.
She thought I would need this, and I think that that's very special. I'm gonna I'm gonna start using it.
It's a good way to keep up with what you've done. I don't know which one. Does that one also allow you to write down like how many skeins, what colors you use?
Yep. Okay, so it says
That
project name, created for, start date, end date, hook, pattern, design source, gauge, extra tools, colors, brand, dye lot, skeins.
There you go. And really, Carrie, it doesn't take that long, and you don't have to fill in all of that, just whatever's necessary information for you. But it doesn't take that long to log it. And that way, whenever you know that you want to remake one of those blankets or something like that, of course, you seem to be really good about keeping quite a bit of it up there anyway, especially the blankets that you like to make over and over. But
Hi,
uh,
Candy.
it's
Hi,
also nice to
Marianne.
know how long it took you to make a project. You know what I mean? I started it on this date and I worked on it. And so, what if you pick up other things in between? Doesn't matter. It kind of gives you an idea, helps you to track your time.
Yeah, it does.
Hmm. Hello, Candy. How are you, sweetheart?
Oh, Rachel. I have three that are similar, but I haven't
Rachel.
started using them.
Well, I'm old school. I keep all of my kind of information like that in a composition book. I started making mine years ago before, you even were able to find or maybe even afford those little log books like that. Of course, they don't cost that much now, but I'm old school. I
Okay, Tracy.
book and a ruler, mark off the columns that I wanted and just kept going. Tracy's, yes. Oh my goodness.
Which
Tracy,
daughter?
your whole family's been in my prayers, sweetheart. Mm. There's
Hi,
Amy
Amy
T.
T.
Hello, sweetheart.
I saw you when you first came in, but Maureen was talking to
Amy
Mara.
came in
And
early.
Mara,
Oh,
if you're still here, thank you for the raid.
yes,
Thank you,
Mara.
raid
Thank
lady.
you. Sharon, you said you've been watching a trial for the last, I guess, little bit. Do you mind sharing what it's about? Mrs. C here. Hello, my beautiful daughter, Carrie. How are you,
Hi,
sweetheart?
Mama. How are you?
I'm just grabbing a bite to eat and reheating my coffee and then heading out the door. Well, sweetheart, you be careful going to school. Boy, you can sure tell school's out here. Let me tell you, the traffic out here on the highway, I think, has doubled. It's crazy.
Okay, so I wanted you guys to know, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking kind of quiet, Carrie. I still haven't had a chance to make another ornament yet. It's okay. Take your time. That's fine. Just take your time. No worries. Um, that's fine. I know you're good for it.
Hello, Shirley. How you doing, sweetie? You're in the car?
Okay.
Okay, well, just listen. No texting while driving.
Okay, now I'm gonna be quiet in case anybody can hear me. Um, we're gonna leave tomorrow, probably at 6,
Whoa!
between 6 and 7, and go over to my mom's and drop off the dog, and then head out. Hopefully, we'll be on the freeway when you go live, so I can
Okay,
participate.
good.
That's the plan. I also plan on leaving both of my devices here at the house on Zoom so that if people are in Zoom, if anybody does come into the house. See, I've got a really, really stinky manager that will come in while we're gone
Are you
illegally.
kidding?
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
They are not supposed to do that.
Oh, I know they're not supposed to do it, but they do it a lot.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm-mm.
Thank you.
Shirley says, I have trouble texting on my phone sitting still. I'm waiting on my daughter to come to the car. All right, sweetheart.
We'll stay here.
Oh, Mimi. Shirley, aka the best Uber provider.
Oh, are you? Or
Except,
is she Ubering?
well, she said she's waiting on her daughter.
Oh, so that's where I'm thinking we're at. Because I
Okay.
want to be out of here before she's in the office.
Right.
Because she did ask my caregiver yesterday if I was okay or if I was sick or something because she hadn't seen me in a while.
So, yep,
I
she's
told
here.
her, I said, if she asks about me, just say, that's me, but I don't get paid.
It's hugs and kisses kind of pay. That's right. But I think I'll take that over um, money any day, especially with my kiddos.
Yeah.
Oh goodness. So we had a little bit of a scare last night. Wayne was on his way home and called me and said, "Get your stuff together. They're calling for an evacuation. There's a brush fire right, really close." And about that time, the manager, I see him coming across the window because I have the blinds opened here. He's knocking on the door and he came over and
Hi,
he said, "I'm
Amber.
really sorry, but need to let you know that our area has been called for an evacuation." And I said, "Okay." So I'm shutting down Wayne's computer. I'm getting the dogs, grabbing my purse, have my phone in hand. Wayne comes not flying, but a little faster than he should in the parking lot and just parks. Normally he backs the truck up, but no, he just pulled straight in, came and grabbed Lacey, threw her in his truck. I mean, he didn't even give her a chance to leash up. He just grabbed her up and she's like, and he just goes and plops her in the truck and helps me and Tia. He grabbed a few extra things that he thought would be important just in case, it got this far. And we drive quite a ways away and we're sitting there in the parking lot like a lot of other folks around in this area did, because right next to this resort cabin area is a whole trailer park. And we got out before that rush there. We were gone maybe 30 minutes or so. And the manager happened to leave just right after us. We're the only two here right now until the weekend. So he and Wayne were out there talking and stuff like that, and finally came back over. And Wayne said that they were able to get it contained, um, and so everybody on our side of the highway could come back because anyhow, what had happened was there's a few citrus farms around here that evidently a year or so ago, or maybe when the last hurricane came through, I don't know, lost huge areas of their citrus fields. But some of them lost their citrus fields to a um, kind of like a virus, a plant fungus or something. And so you have to let the um, trees die out and then you go and you plow them all up, start pulling them up and you let the ground rest, all that kind of stuff, whatever. Anyhow, yes, Mimi, that's exactly what it was. It was a controlled burn. They were piling up all these trees and burning them. Um, and I don't know why they were burning because yesterday on my little weather app down here, we got a wind warning starting at 1 o'clock. And sure enough, man, the winds were going through here pretty good. And that's what happened. It got away from them. And yep. So,
Hi, Amber.
hello, Amber. How are you? And yes, my anxiety level was way up there because the one thing I was thinking of course, I was being extremely selfish. I wasn't worried about clothes or anything else like that. I was thinking about all my totes of yarn. I was thinking, how in the world do I put a monetary value on what's sitting there in my totes? And I have two towers here that have yarn in them as well. Now this one tower over here that I have, it's nothing but hand dyed that I've bought since I've been on the road. And I mean, I'm not kidding you. I was like, oh, yes, Mimi, my yarn supplies. Oh, my word, my Swift, all of my hooks, my furls hooks. Oh, my, I was just like sitting there on,
Some of them are
hmm.
irreplaceable.
I know, I'm not kidding you. I was, so when we get back here, I would have grabbed a paper of my project. Honey, My husband did not give me time. He grabbed the dogs and me, grabbed the computer. I made sure I had my wallet, phone, and an extra charger. That was all I could grab. He was here at the door. Get in. Don't worry about the rest of it. It's there. It's there. If not, oh well. And I agree, but I'm sitting there in the parking lot going, twiddling my thumbs. Hmm. 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 So it's kind of made me think that maybe I ought to put a little spreadsheet in my Google Drive of what I've got with me at the moment. And
Well,
that
and
way, in case I ever run across that little situation again, which Lord, please don't put me through that again.
another thing that you should do is always have a small project in your vehicle.
Oh, I keep a project bag in my truck where I do washcloths and dish
Oh,
towels like that all
so
the
you
time.
had stuff to do.
Oh yeah, I had stuff to do, but I was nowhere thinking about doing it last night. I mean, while we sit in the parking lot, because with as much as I was going through, there's no telling what kind of mess I would be ripping out later.
Oh, okay. Hi, TDP.
Missy, I have done that at home, but for some reason I have never thought about that while we're here. And Wayne and I kind of talked about that. We really did. We thought, not that anything we have here is not replaceable. You know what I mean? Honestly, but except like Carrie said, some of those furls hooks I have that are no longer in production, but still, it's just stuff. And if we had lost it all, that's okay. God, at least spared me and my pups, and that's that's really all that matters. But still, we're kind of selfish. We like our stuff. We don't want to get stolen or burned or water damage from floods and things like that. But yes, we kind of sat down and had a big long talk last night about, if nothing else, just for insurance purposes, to make sure that we kind of have a log of what it is that we have when we travel. Which brought me back to my argument that it would really behoove us to go home at some point and get our trailer. I've been arguing this for over a year now. Uh, that way he could have come in and would have taken a little bit of time, but he could have hooked me up and moved me lock, stock, and barrel. Oh, that's right, Mimi. Mm-hmm. Hooks, yarn, and inheritance of jewelry. It's not replaceable. And Mimi, honestly, I understand that too. We'd be sad. We honestly would be. But me, my pups, we were safe. That's all that matters.
God, you guys, I
Exactly,
don't know,
Sandra.
honestly. I honestly don't know if I would be sad. I would have an empty yarn room.
Oh, yeah.
I could start over and just buy what I needed.
Mm-hmm.
So, I want to share this really bad, but it was said in a Zoom. Sugar, tell me to shut my mouth. It was said in a Zoom, and what was said in the Zoom stays in the Zoom, so I'm not going to repeat it. But I have figured out what I'm going to do. Carrie, careful what you dream about. Oh, yeah, no, I'm
Mm-hmm.
kidding. I'm really not serious. Um, but I I was given a lot of great ideas. If Sugar's not here, Amber, you tell me to shut my mouth. Um, oh, there,
Oh,
Mara was there.
Mars telling you shut your mouth.
Yeah, I was given a bunch of great ideas. So, um, Carrie, love you, Amber. So,
Christy, I would be upset not about losing my yarn necessarily, but mainly the yarn my mom has gotten for me. Yes, you know. Oh, Sandra, we learned when my husband in Arlington, along with his consulting business, he also had a laboratory that tested plastic products, just all sorts of stuff,
good
different
morning,
chemicals.
Lydia.
Yeah, soil. I mean, it was mainly for construction type projects. And we were called around 4 o'clock in the morning, and the lab was on fire. So, yes, we have gone through um, the difference between replacement value and the other. So,
Oh,
right after that, we did a lot of searching and pricing for new homeowners insurance, travel insurance. Yes. You have to pay a little bit more, but I tell you what, peace of mind. Exactly, Amber. Hello, Lydia, sweetie. How are you this morning?
we rent our place, and my renter's insurance. Where did I put my phone? Let me see what it is because I don't think it's very much. And I honestly don't know. Boy, that's a big fish.
That's
I
right, Teresa.
I honestly
As long as I
don't
have my
know.
animals and my peeps. Oh, Lydia said, I just woke up.
Let's see.
Nothing wrong with that, sweetheart. The Lord provides everything, Mimi says. A group lady who lost everything. Well, she received a call and was gifted 18 totes of wonderful yarn from a lady she had never met. See, God provides.
He
God
does.
provides.
He does.
Faith Louise, sweetheart, how are you doing? She says rental insurance is a lot less than homeowners because it is only insuring your belongings and not the building as well. That's right.
Good
Good
morning,
morning,
Faith
Linda.
Louise.
How are you
Good
doing?
morning, Quilty Linda.
Oh, sweetie, she's got a slowpoke headache. It lasts all day. We'll be listening with my eyes closed. Well, sweetheart, thank you so much for letting us know that you're here. I'm going to put you on my prayer list, sweetie.
Oh, Mimi. Firearms are in a safe. Swiss and Wesson sleeps with me.
Yeah, it does with Wayne too. I never have to worry.
I enable offline cards.
Can't remember if I told you Drew's schedule. Yes, ma'am, I have it in my prayer book. You told us that yesterday, Sandra. No, wait a minute. Nope, 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 nope. Let me look back through here. I just know that it was his arm was broken. Nope. So for Tuesday, do you have a time?
I don't know where I saw it. It's probably only like $14 a month, but it's like $100 or $150.
Huh.
Not that I have
Excuse me.
probably that much in value anymore. But, you know, the skeins of yarn and the kits are so expensive.
Right.
Oh, Drew's surgery is scheduled for Tuesday.
Yes. I was waiting to see if she had a time. Mimi says, Lydia, check up on your 5 winning from the birthday, okay? No other info yet. They're getting a CT on his wrist, so if it needs surgery, both can be done at the same time, meaning one recovery period. Oh my word. Mm.
Oh my God. He is not going to be able to.
Yeah, he's gonna be like this.
He's not going to be able to. Oh, he better. He better not worry about his dignity. Oh my
Teresa
goodness.
says she just dropped a whole portion of scratch for the chickens at the door. Oh my goodness. Amber says, y'all are my happy therapy at the moment, so I don't lose my cool.
What
Well,
happened?
I'm glad we can be here for you, sweetie. Thank y'all. Sandra needs prayers, if nothing else, just for calm during the whole thing.
Yeah. Um. Amber
Breathing, count to
breathing count
20.
20. Yeah.
Yeah, 10 doesn't seem to hack it anymore.
Mm-mm. My kid not listening. I am just taking. Wait, where'd it go? I am just taking a cool off moment with y'all.
That's
Um,
good. Just sit here with
Hi,
us
Lisa.
until you can gather yourself. Good morning, Lisa. How are you, sweetheart? I used to tell my kids that they needed to go to their room for a few minutes and I needed to stay, living room, wherever I was at, and that we were just going to take time outs, both of us, until we could both calm down and have a conversation. Amber says, y'all make me smile. Lisa's doing good. That's awesome. Oh, you're heading off to bed. Well, sweetheart, thank you so much for checking in with us. We greatly appreciate that. You have a good rest. It's
It's 1:30
1:30
a.m.
a.m.
on
on a Friday
Friday.
morning.
Oh my goodness.
Goodness gracious.
I'm parked now, Shirley says.
Good girl. And I think, let me see. Was it Mimi that said this? When I was kid, it was called corporal punishment. Uh-huh. Yep. Get sent to your room. It's almost like being in a jail, wasn't it? I remember
Good
those
night,
days a
Lisa.
lot.
Sleep well.
Well, Carrie, I can't believe it, but it is already time for the devotional.
Wow. Okay. Day 149. God's love will make us stand.
Mhm.
Who are you to judge someone else's servant? To their own master, servants stand or fall, and they will stand, for the Lord is able to make them stand. Romans 14:4. Loving God, so often we struggle with following Paul's advice, with struggling, wait a minute, struggling with following Paul's advice that we should allow each other to live by the, the dictates of
Mhm.
their own consensus without being, oh my God, condescending.
Condescending.
There you go. Condescending or passing judgment. Help us instead to make every effort to do what leads to peace and to mutual, what's with these big ass words? Edification, edification.
Edification. Yes.
Romans 14, 19. Remind Remind us as often as we need it that each of us is accountable to stand or fall before you and you alone. Reassure us that because of your love and grace, we will all stand in the presence of your love. Your love will make us stand. We thank you and we pray this in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Wow. Tomorrow will be day 50, 150.
I know.
Cannot believe it.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Go back up here. Good morning, Mama Gwen. How are you? Stop. Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Go back up here just a little bit. All right, maybe I can do this here. Nope, won't do that for me. All right, let's see. Lydia wants to know her weather in Nebraska City. It's sunny with a temperature of 71. Wind is blowing at 12 miles per hour, and you have 61% humidity. Mimi's weather for Longview, Texas. Conditions are mostly cloudy with the temperature of 76. The wind is blowing at southeast, and the current humidity is 81. Oh my word.
Hi,
Goodness,
Sandra.
goodness. And Son just reminds us surgery day is tomorrow. I'm waiting on the call to give me the time to be there. I'm very nervous, sweetheart. God has you. You know that. Amber, I'm taking away privileges. He doesn't get to play with friends or get technology. I tell you what, just taking away the technology to most kids these days is the kicker. Mimi says, Sonja, I have you on my prayer list. Yes, that's the words for the youth today.
Hi, Robin.
Good morning, Barbara, and hello, Sonja. How are you girls? Yeah, cooled. Mimi says it's cooled off here since all the tornadoes and rain and hail, I'm sure. Teresa says, I have a timeout myself sometimes. I tell my kids I've been naughty. I've got to go to my room and think about my decisions for a while. Since I'm on timeout, I have to do it. Yes, just like them. That's right.
Hi, Ellie.
Uh, Prayers. Yes, thank you all for that. I just love how we all lift each other up in prayers, and that's that makes my heart happy. Amber says high of 69 today with a chance of scattered thunderstorms. Oh my goodness, I wish I could. I don't think we've gotten below 70, 75 here for the last week or more. Well, thank you,
Yeah.
Sandra. She says she's dropping in to say hi and leaving her DNA. Nana Cat's weather in Oklahoma City, cloudy, 72. The wind is blowing from the southeast at 9 miles per hour and 88% humidity. We are dealing with tornado damage in our town. Oh, Mama Gwen, I am so sorry, sweetheart. Isn't that the truth? They don't know how to act anymore without their phones, pads, computers. Well, thank you so much for checking in with us, Ellie. And as I always like to say, remember, just listen, no texting. Yes, I think we all would now. We've become so used to having them. Amber says, ever since I started being active and putting content on my YouTube channel, I have been on my phone a lot lately and they notice. Yes, they do. They have, Carrie. Oh my goodness. I was watching or have been the last, I don't know, week or more. I follow Ryan Hall. He always comes on and lets us know where the bad weather is and keeps everybody that can listen up on tornado warnings and where the storms and stuff are tracking. And he said that this has really been an awful year for tornadoes, and especially this early. And I'm thinking tornadoes are never a good thing anytime, but oh goodness. Yes, he does, Mimi. Let's see. Ah, maybe it. Let's see. Shirley says, I'm sure we'll be close to 100 today. Mm-hmm. Mama Gwen says, it's been funny watching them try to play like a kid as I did. You mean outside? Mimi says, Shirley, did you hear about Valley View investigation after so much loss of life? The alarms were not functioning. Oh my goodness. Yeah, some of them do that, Shirley. I think they let the fact that they're in a law enforcement vehicle, because I not only just police cars, but sheriff's cars. I've seen even our DPS back in Texas be out on the interstate and stuff. I mean, we're supposed to go 75, and that they are going a lot faster than that, and they just come zipping by you. Well, hello, Mrs. Jones. How are you? We're so happy that you're in here with us this morning.
Where are you at in the chat?
Well, I missed a lot of comments because my
Oh, I
phone's
see
not.
Mrs. Jones.
Yes.
Welcome in,
Teresa
Mrs. Jones.
Teresa said, my girls are grounded off their phones till the end of the school year. They're annoying about it at home, but behaving better at school. That, just whatever it takes. And like I said, nowadays, you take their electronics away from them and woo. Sonia says, thank you, everyone. I'm trying to distract myself. I know that God has me in his hands. The last spinal surgery ended with, I'm not going to say that. caused by a spinal fluid leak and blood clots. Oh my goodness. Huh. I do too, Robin. Tell you what, every time I get a notification, I don't care where he's tracking the weather in the country. I pull him up and listen to him. Well, thank you so much, Amber. She says, as much as I do want to stay here and chat, I'm going to lurk and listen and get some stuff done around here. Well, you lurk away, sweetie. We'll try to keep you up with what's going on in the chat. I know,
Hi,
Carrie.
Gary.
And that's exactly what he was saying, you know. And not only that they're more frequent, but they seem to be what was the word he used? More intense. You know, they're jumping from just being spotted now to becoming active. And a lot they changed in their what is the just like hurricanes, their little categories. Oh yeah. Outside with jump ropes and chalk.
Hi, Pam Cray.
Amber, I try to stick to 2 hours of tech time and then make them be bored, as they say, and figure out how to play outside or even inside if they find something to do on a screen. Well, we used to tell Warren that for every hour of screen time he wanted, he had to give us an hour of reading because reading was not his strong suit. And that was the only way that we could get him to read. And sometimes he'd come in and say, I'm through. And it's like, well, then tell me what the story was about. Or let's see, yesterday you stopped at this. So what happened after that? And if he couldn't answer my questions well enough, I'd say, okay, how about you go get that book and come in here and read it to me because it seems kind of interesting to me. Good morning, Granny D. I know, Mimi, that was awful. Yes, Carrie, old time play school. I remember sitting on the front porch with my sister, and we had jacks. Do y'all remember that? Little
Mm-hmm.
red ball. Uh, and I remember the first time we got our hands on a Super Ball. They were just a little bit bigger. Man, it was so funny to try to play jacks with that thing because it would just bounce so high. And if you got one that the uh, mold, they hadn't cleaned out that line just right, and it had this little crink, or maybe it got a chip on it because bouncing so much on the concrete. Oh yeah, that thing go everywhere. Just a lurky loo-hoo listening and stitching. Sweetheart, that is all right. We're just happy that you're here with us, lurking. Good morning, Pat Cray. How are you doing, sweetie? Oh, Mimi, that's great. Reading was a gift to your son, and now your grand princess is the same. Yes, ma'am, I did, Pat. Jackson Marbles, yes. Now, we didn't get into the baseball cards because we didn't have any, but we had plenty of Jackson Marbles.
Yep. I didn't get into the baseball cards until I was older, like an adult.
Oh, Teresa, Dennis is home today with strep or tonsillitis. Went to urgent care yesterday. He wouldn't sit down and fell down a few stairs because a cat scared him so bad. So back to bed for him. Yes, ma'am. Oh, goodness, Teresa.
Poor Dennis.
I know. Jacks, jump rope, hopscotch, mud pies, board card games. We made our own fun. Say I'm bored, then break beans, shell peas. Oh, yes. Well, I tell you what, we used to say my mom had the best flower beds in the whole community because you say you're bored, I got a flower bed that needs to be weeded. Get in trouble, there's a flower bed that needs to be weeded. Or sometimes you get a choice between being outside weeding the flower beds, or you could take the toothbrush and the Babo or Comet, whichever one we happen to have in the house, make your little paste and get in there in the bathroom and scrub the grout on the tiles. And guys, our bathrooms were tiled, ceiling, walls, floors. And so, oh yeah. Uh, Rachel says, my husband is silly. He thinks tornadoes don't hit places with water. Oh, yes, they do. A year or two ago, Michigan got hit with tornadoes, and I live in Indiana, and we've had tornadoes before. Oh, there you go. Amber says, my kids are so spoiled between us and their grandparents that if an outdoor playing contraption, they usually get it, so they have no reason to not have anything to do. Carrie, oh, yes. Inside or outside, cleaning, take your pick. That's right, Rachel. Tune in your hubby to Ryan Hall. There you go, Rachel. There cannot be, as far as I'm concerned, enough devotionals out there on YouTube. Just saying. I don't live in Indiana, sweetheart. I live in Texas, but right now, because of my husband's work, we're in Florida. Oh, goodness. Chalk, bubbles, bikes, scooters, play scrape to climb on. Goodness gracious. Oh, Teresa. Now, my mom never did, but no, she never did that. My kids don't say they're bored anymore. If they do, I hand them an old toothbrush and tell them the toilet needs scrubbing. Oh, my word. That's right, Robin. 2 hours of screen time or TV a day for my grandkids. That's okay, Carla. We were very fortunate. I saw where Daigo posted a little short a few days ago where in the area of San Angelo that she lives in, there was rain and it looked like she got quite a bit of it, but just pea-sized hail. So as soon as I saw that, I called my daughter and said, "Are you guys okay?" And she said they had a lot of wind and rain come through, but she said, "Mom, it only lasted like 5 minutes." So we were very fortunate. And then a couple of days later, Wayne gets weather alerts on his phone for the area back home. And he said, "You want to call the kids and tell them to run out to the farm? We raise goats." And so they went out to the farm to check on the animals out there, and all they had gotten was rain. So that's pretty good. Oh, 2 acres of wooded property for them to go and have adventures in. Oh, isn't that true? My kids would have loved to have had that, especially my youngest. Thank you, Mimi. You know, we always tend to have lots of storms if we're going to have storms and rain throughout the month of May when school is getting out, and August and September when school starts. Oh, I know. I know. Faith Louise says, good. I know people with trees fell on houses and flooding. Well, speaking of the flooding, East Texas, all up and down the coast from about Corpus up to past Galveston. oh, anyway, up in that area, all the way inland to about Lake Livingston, they have been fighting rain and flood and oh my goodness. Christy says, my mom would have had a hard time punishing me. I used the majority of my time doing homework. When I was little, I liked paper dolls and coloring. I stayed put in one place for hours. And Mimi is asking you, Carrie, are you getting excited about your travel plans for Look at that.
Yeah. We're leaving tomorrow morning.
Early, early.
Mm-hmm. Joanne has Big Twist $2.99, Lion Brand Hometown $3.99, Red Heart Super Saver $3.99. Oh my god, I gotta go to Joanne's. I need Pound of Love
Yep.
to finish a blanket.
If you still have a yarn tag from the one that you need, you could always just send Jason in to get your yarn. That way you're not tempted about anything else that you see.
The, I don't know where the tag is.
Oh no. Well, cut off a little piece of thread. Excuse me, yarn. I always call yarn thread. That's what my grandma called it. Uh, cut you off a little piece and send him in with that. Or just send him in with the project.
Mm,
Oh, Christy. Sorry, I also meant to say I did housework without being asked. No, none of mine did that. I hear you, Sharon. Says, I wish I could shop, but I can't seem to make money be left at the end of the month. Well, sweetie, you still have a teenager at home. Yes, Mimi is reminding you, Carrie. Jason's a great man for yarn shopping.
yes.
I hear you, Sharon. I'm on sort of a yarn diet of late. I did get some thrift store yarn last week, though. That's good. Yes, she does. Yes, she does. Oh, Robin is telling you, Carrie, you're safe. Lion Brown Pound of Love is not on sale.
Well, I have to get it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope they have the colors that I need. Because I need
Right.
to get two. I need to get Honeybee. Whoa. I didn't mean to do that. I need to get Honeybee and a dark purple.
Pat Cray says, I'm running low on my cotton yarn, dishcloths, washcloths, and kitchen towels eat at my stash. Yes, they tend to do that, don't they?
I'm so glad you're crocheting again, Pat Gray.
Yes. Oh, Mimi. Says Sharon, I'm broke 2 weeks into my monthly paycheck. I hear you. But isn't it great to have enough to take care of your bills and everything else? Oh, that's awesome. Mimi says, Pat, I love the cotton, making round pot holders for my daughter-in-law. You know, a couple of years ago, I made my middle daughter some coasters and some hot pads for her table. And she says, Mom, I love these coasters. Do you know that they are the perfect size to use to put on the lids on my pots whenever I want to pick them up? And I was like, okay, whatever floats your boat. So she uses the coasters for the handles because she has round handles on her pot lids. That's what she uses to pick them up with. I'm like, okay.
Come here. Oh, you gotta go potty. You gotta go
You
potty.
know, Sharon, I don't know. Maybe someone here in the chat knows. Carrie, can I make
What?
squares with acrylic on the inside and cotton on the outside, or will it wash funny?
No, you can't.
Okay. So you
You
can't mix the
can't.
two.
Well, you don't want to use acrylic for a wash rag.
What are you wanting to use it for in that combination, Sharon? That's right, Mimi.
Hi,
Good
Rita.
morning, little Rita. How are you doing? Aw, sweetheart. But you've been busy. You've been packing and taking care of mama. So it's okay. You do what your body tells you to do. I don't think I'd want to mix those two.
Oh, I thought you said for a washcloth.
No, Pat Cray was saying that her cotton stash is getting depleted because of all the washcloths and dish towels and things that she's making them to be sold at the farmers market, and the money will go to the veterans. Well, that's awesome. Aw. Rita said, yes, fatigue is kicking my behind. But I know that you know this. It's going to be worth it when it's all over with. But you still got time. So don't push yourself to the point of total exhaustion. 2 months and 2 days to key time. I know. Rita and her hubby are moving into their very own apartment, and her mother's going to be moving with them, for those of you that don't know. So lots of changes, but great excitement coming their way. And I did find out we also have a storage place. Oh my word, that's awesome, Rita. I'm sure it will be no time before you and Mama have it stored with yarn and fabric.
Okay, go.
That'll be a great place for it, won't it? In totes so that you can pull it out whenever you want to work on some big projects. That's great.
Well, it's 9 o'clock.
I was getting ready to say, I just saw my little clock down here switch over to 12 noon. Holy smokes. This live has just really flown by. Well, I'm going to go ahead and take this time to say thank you all so, so much. I know I say this every day that we get together, but I do hope that you know it's said with sincerity. We always love coming in and chit and chat with you every day, no matter what the topic is. We do appreciate your time. Those of you that have been lurking, I hope that we were able to keep you entertained with what was going on in the chat. We greatly appreciate your time as well. We only ask that if you didn't hit the thumb on the way in, please be sure that you hit it on the way out, because you know it helps out the channel. So until tomorrow, we'll be at my house because Carrie's going to be on the road, but she promises to pop in and check in on us. So until then, please remember, be the light out there in the darkness for someone today, because you never know. Could be your light they're waiting to see. We love you all.
You're welcome, Amber. She said thank you for being my parenting therapy.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
We love you. You guys be a blessing. And Amber, I'm praying for you because I know how hard it is to raise little ones. I mean,
Oh, yes.
we all do. I'm
Yes.
all of us that have kids. So it's a
Love you
pain in the,
all,
you know, yeah. You got to
but
say it
only
quick
for a little
because
while.
yeah. And then they become young adults, and then they're fun.
Sometimes.
Yeah,
Love you
sometimes.
all.
Love you all. See you guys later. Bye.